Something has happened over the past couple of months that's really left Pokemon fans into a mystical state, wondering, asking, waiting what's next for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Now honestly, this is pretty fantastic in a lot of ways, and if we were really going to take a look at it, there is so many things that point into old Pokemon games returning, or more specifically, Pokemon Generation 3. Now something has happened yesterday that really makes Pokemon fans and speculators on the edge that something's to come. So in this video, we did breaking down everything on why these games are going to be returning and what happened yesterday that really raised an eyebrow. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so starting everything off, let's talk about Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Now Ruby and Sapphire, the reasons why these games seem like they're going to be coming back is because we found them inside the code of Fire Red and Leaf Green. Now this could just be leftover code from those games because originally back on the Game Boy you were able to essentially connect both those games together and transfer Pokemon. So it's not too far off to say that that's just leftover code because essentially what these games are just ROMs of the original game. But if we were really going to look at it, we also have the fact that the Pokemon Company has been very suspicious on a whole bunch of other things. Recently, we got a brand new movie, of course, that did release in Japan about a year ago, but it's still really interesting and I thought I should mention. Latias and Latios inside of this little movie, which are the two legendary Pokemon that really describe Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, so that's another indicator. Also, if you go onto the official Pokemon store, the Pokemon Center store, you can see that one region is getting pointed out to me the most than any other region, and that would of course be Hoenn. Now Hoenn has so many different things, including Pikachus that we have to talk about, and a whole bunch of merchandise. If you look at that store counting Hoenn, you can see that this store is more packed than any other region. So it definitely seems like they're getting ready for something and they're like, hey, if you want to, you can get yourself some Hoenn merchandise. That would be pretty fantastic. We also have some Pikachus for Hoenn. That's only for Hoenn. I haven't really seen another Pikachu that either hasn't already existed or like not even at the region yet. And honestly, this is really crazy because it is a 30th anniversary and you would think that the Pokemon Company would be like, you know, we're gonna do one for like Galar, Kanto, whatever the case may be, but they've been pointing out and they've been promoting these Pikachus out of any other thing, which is definitely really interesting in a lot of ways. Also, just recently, they've been posting out these things as well, which could lead into the fact and the idea that, hey, these games are going to be returning because you can see Hoenn, you can see Hoenn again, and you can see Hoenn. By the way, these three posts were in fact all in the same day. So it definitely makes you really wonder and ask yourself, are these games going to be returning? Mind you, these games haven't really been seeing the light of day in a long time, including Pokemon Emerald. In Pokemon Emerald, it's been since 2004, the last time we've seen this game. And it seems like maybe, just maybe, the Pokemon Company is working on a way to bring it back. Because maybe they were just testing the waters with Fire Red and Leaf Green for the big deal to come. Yesterday, we got a new trailer for Pokemon, which was just randomly dropped, which is definitely really interesting. Now this has to do with the TCG, but more importantly, if you look at the date of release on one of the sets, you can see clear as day that this is a day that you oftentimes see Pokemon games. You have this Mega Evolution set, actual physical cards, that is going to be releasing November 6th. Sound familiar? You also have Pokemon TCG Pocket, which is going to be essentially Ruler of the Skies and is going to be releasing July. Now that July is definitely really interesting because it seems like we are going to be getting something like a big Pokemon sort of presentation July, because we also got this right here which says we are going to be getting summer reveal. Unless this is the reveal for July, but I'm taking this into account that, hey, a reveal is coming July. So what if they set all of this up for the reveal to be July? And then November, along with the TCG set that you're probably not going to be able to get your hands on, they're going to release the game. That honestly does make sense in a lot of ways. Another way that I can look at it is the fact that we're not seeing a Pokemon game this year. Usually at the end of every single year, we have a Pokemon game. This goes back for like over 10 years. You always have a Pokemon game near the end of the year, which is perfect for selling Pokemon product to fans that either just got a Nintendo Switch or a Switch 2 or whatever the case may be. Is it Christmas? There you go. Releasing these Pokemon games later on in the year makes so much sense. Also, may I remind you that it is the 30th anniversary and is supposed to be a year-long celebration. So overall, this all does make a lot of sense. And we also have this post right here. Now, I'm not sure how reliable this source actually is, but it seems like they're saying the idea that, hey, there's a lot more things for Rayquaza to come. And if it is about Rayquaza, doesn't that make sense for Pokemon Emerald to be returning? I think it does, and this is how I look at this whole situation. Now, of course, for months, we've been saying, yeah, every single little tiny leak or rumor, we are going to be getting these games. Old games are actually going to be coming back. But weren't we right on one of them? Fire Red and Leaf Green did come back. And now, after all of this, it definitely makes sense to see Pokemon Emerald make its return. Honestly, it would be so weird if they just don't do anything, because they have so many things lined up. If it's not Pokemon Emerald, well then it's gotta be Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. You honestly originally would have thought that they would have released them by now. Ruby and Sapphire and then Emerald later on. But what if it's just Emerald, or are they gonna group them all up as sort of a tri-pack that you're able to actually go to the physical store and buy these games? Honestly, that would be the best case scenario, because I would love to go to the store, pick up these games for what? I suppose they're going to sell it for $80? Well, I guess that's better than $200 and actually owning the game. I would so go to the store, pick these games up, $80, but at least I have these old, beautiful Pokemon games once again. Now, of course, these games would probably be like the original. Will they have anything new and anything special, like actually being able to trade online? Well, that honestly really does depend on the idea if they're actually going to go in and allow you to trade, so they can easily just change the code in that way and then make a box release, or are they just going to do the eShop situation because they already have the emulator on the Nintendo Switch? Who knows what's going to be happening here, but I honestly believe that yes, these games are finally going to be returning. It's been so long since we've seen these games. There's been so much hype surrounding these games, and honestly, it is fantastic. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think I explained my case good enough? Do you think we are going to be seeing Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald finally make a return in 2026? Oh boy, if we get ourselves a Pokemon Presents July, I better be seeing these guys. Like, honestly, it's going to be fantastic. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider that like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, everything. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. See you in the next one.